Hi, my name is Yasu, and I live in Japan. And today I want to answer a question, which is how long did it take for Dayvigo, which is a sleeping pill, to start working for you? Do you have any advice about Dayvigo for when someone is starting out Dayvigo recently? So let me answer the questions based on my experience, which is I suffered from depression and also severe sleep disorders um, for nearly like 2 years and then 10 months. But after 2 years and then 10 months, I successfully completed all of the treatment for depression and sleep disorder. I don't see my psychiatrist anymore. I don't take antidepressant, which Effexor that I was taking back then. I don't take it for 1 year and 2 months already. And when it comes to sleeping pill, which is Dayvigo, I don't take it more than 3 months already. And I want to give you mainly two different kind of views on Dayvigo based on my experience, because that's gonna give you an idea that what kind of situation you're actually in or your body is actually either suffering from or you really don't have any kind of sleeping issues, at least not chronic one. And what I meant is that I don't take Dayvigo anymore. I don't take antidepressant anymore. I'm officially recovered from my depressions and everything. But time to time, when I feel that, I think I'm gonna have a little bit harder time to fall asleep tonight, then I take Dayvigo. The amount is 2.5 milligram. And that gives me an amazing result. Like, I can fall asleep really right away. And I monitor all of my sleep patterns and indicators and everything with my Aura ring. Usually, it tells me that after taking Dayvigo, 15 minutes, I fall asleep. I don't wake up. I stay asleep, and I sleep for like 7 hours or 8 hours. When I wake up, I feel so refreshed, which is amazing. But it never be like that before. So when I was starting to dealing with my depressions, the first thing I realized is that for the first time in my entire life, I couldn't fall asleep, which really freaked me out, and I just didn't know what to do. And my doctor prescribed me Dayvigo. It really didn't work. It didn't make me fall asleep. It didn't keep me asleep. I kept waking up. I kept dreaming. It's such a nightmares, weird dreams. And I increased the dose 5 milligram, 7.5, 10 milligram. It didn't improve. At first, I remember it was kind of fun because I feel like I was in like a movie, The Inception. but lack of sleep, it just made me feel so tired, and then still like really suffering from the depressions. And back then I was also started to taking Effexor for my depressions. It worked well, but a lot of side effects. And then certainly looking back, Effexor made my sleep issues a lot worse. So I was really, really tired, suffering, desperate, and then asking the doctor to change it because I cannot sleep. And this is the first experience of Dayvigo, which is quite different from what I can get right now. So it clearly shows that if my condition is better, Dayvigo can really work well, even the lowest dose. But if I'm still suffering from dealing with my depressions, Dayvigo doesn't work. That's how I see it. That's actually my conclusion based on the journey that I went through. So if you take Dayvigo now, you cannot fall asleep easily. You cannot stay sleep for a long time. You cannot sleep long enough. There are something that's affecting your sleep, and you need to actually solve that part. But time to time you take Dayvigo and then it gives you a good sleep. That means you're very healthy. And then life is life is hard, fun to live, but really hard. So time to time we have some nights that feels so difficult to fall asleep, and then we take the Dayvigo and it gives us a good sleep right away. That's okay. But if you take it regularly and it doesn't give you better sleep quality, or it doesn't solve any sleep issues, then Dayvigo is not strong enough. And at the same time, you really need to focus on the treatment for what would be causing you to have sleep disorders. And if I specifically look at the time that I was dealing with my depressions, it was quite interesting because once I hit the maximum dose of Effexor, which gave me more stability, more energy, and my body got eventually used to it. And then when I started to reducing the dose of Effexor, except the time that I suffered from minor visual symptoms, the less Effexor I took, the better sleep I could get with weaker sleeping pill, including Dayvigo. So by the time I was really reducing, I think the lowest dose of Effexor or something like that, I was already switching back from those strong sleeping pill to Dayvigo to manage my sleep conditions, even though I was still taking Effexor back then. And if I say it that way, then it kind of makes sense because I got stabilized, reducing the Effexor, which shows I was recovering. My situation is getting better. So I didn't really need the strong sleeping pills or more sleeping pills. If anything, what I needed is less, which I did. But looking back, I really think I made a mistake about reducing my sleeping pill while I was reducing Effexor as well, which I will make another video to explain why I feel that way. But based on what I went through, that's how it worked. Less sleeping pill that we need, which means our function, brain function, body function is recovering. It's the kind of like the proof of it. Except the time that I stopped taking Effexor completely, and then I suffered the uncomfortable, severe withdrawal symptoms that I didn't even know how to manage to get through. I was this close to give up, but I actually managed to get through it. But when I stopped taking Effexor completely, even I was so gradual, I took so careful steps, took long enough to reduce an Effexor little by little, and then finally stopped taking it, but still it really gave me the most uncomfortable withdrawal symptoms ever. And even like when I was taking the lowest dose of Effexor, and I was taking the lowest dose of Dayvigo, which gave me a good sleep. But as soon as I stopped taking Effexor, Dayvigo doesn't work anymore. It was just so crazy. So in the end, I ended up adding Lunesta, but still, it really didn't really give me anything much. Got me a little bit longer sleep, but not good enough. Suffered 3 or 4 months, almost gave up. Damn. My body and brain started to be okay without Effexor, so I was lucky enough to get through everything. And then now, I take no Dayvigo, and I can sleep well. So the conclusion is, it depends on your condition. Dayvigo, even the lowest dose, can give you instant good night's sleep. But if it doesn't give you that, there are something that's associated with your sleep issues that you need to focus on with your doctors. And then eventually you're going to be okay with, you're going to have an okay sleep or good night's sleep, even with lowest dose of Effexor, or even without Effexor. No, lowest dose of Dayvigo, and even without Dayvigo you can sleep. So you can really kind of use Dayvigo as a benchmark about your conditions and your situations. At least looking back at my journey, I can really clearly see that how my brain and body responded to Dayvigo would give me my conditions back then at each stages. So hopefully this is gonna give you some idea about how to approach your sleep issues and then sleeping pills. And I understand that you're very suffering from sleep disorders. It's so painful. I'm really hoping that you're gonna get better soon. It takes time, and only thing that we can do is to make a baby steps each time at a time. But eventually it all adds up and you're gonna be okay. So hopefully this will give you some kind of idea and some kind of directions. And I'm really hoping that you're gonna be okay soon. So thank you for watching. If you feel like it, please subscribe to my channel. For now, Johnny. Bye bye. Please take care.